Actually, in memoriam, like, look at all these songs.
Jesus.
I by far made the most songs in the Guitar Hero 5 era. Even though Guitar Hero 6 came out, I think... Actually, no, Guitar Hero 6 came out probably like a year later, because, you know, typical Activision.
Yeah.
But,
Sounds like a metal flute or something.
that's the lead guitar sound.
Sounds like a flute. Doesn't it?
It works. So this was not the first song I made. The first song I made was Stairway to Heaven. Pretty much that entire list there. I have a list somewhere that I'll probably put in the description of, like, the order of roughly what I can recall from GameFAQs posts and my own recollection. Or, like, the order I made these songs. But this was, like, number 2 or 3 or something. Or actually, probably, like, 5. But this was much more accurate than my original version because it was a lot longer. I still ran into note limit problems, though, and I'll point that out to you when we get to there in the song, but, yeah. Guitar Hero 5 is so much nicer to work in, and so I could actually record the individual tracks, like I recorded the full band tracks with no fail on, and I was able to implement them here. And so you can see I have 4,895 notes. That's not how it looks in game, obviously. That's a really poor, like, cutout from Premiere, but that information that was there wasn't relevant anyway. So, so you can
twangs there.
Yeah, those twangs. But that's the thing, you can like make those sort of individual note adjustments. And then something that I didn't learn until way later was that you can actually rechart the whole song. Like whatever note you have, you can rechart it to a different, like, one of the 5 gems. And you can even chart it to chords.
Oh, so you can get a...
So you can get...
fingering that's not S?
Yeah, so you can have it, like, play like a regular Guitar Hero song, which you could not do in the original version, unless you were on rhythm, because rhythm was the only one that could do multiple notes. To make, you know, the power chords or whatever. Doesn't that sound so much nicer with triplets? God damn. So this part, you'll hear the big shortcut, which is the keyboard, because it's supposed to be the Super Mario. So all those are supposed to be triplets. But because I ran into note limit issues, it's all like the root notes of each of those triplets. Which is really lame. It sounded a lot better with the triplets from what I can remember, but I just ran into issues. I mean, I only have 105 notes left in this song.
Kind of burning it all with the bass drum, baby.
Well, yeah, but this part is supposed to be fast. Yeah. Normally the drums aren't fast, but this part was, and so it adds like a heightened sense of urgency to this one part.
I get you. Because
they end soon, and whereas the keyboard was doing it in the background the whole portion of this song.
Yeah.
So I needed to cut it. But yeah, Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, or Guitar Hero 6 as I keep calling it, I never played much. Apparently it was like a kind of fitting end to the series. Kind of not. Actually, all the games were ass. I take that back. They were all terrible. This part has like full triplets. Weird transition back into the main Mario theme that Power Glove included. But Guitar Hero 6 updated the music editor to finally have the same note and length limits as the 360 versions, which the intended note limit is 7,500 notes. And a maximum length of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is sweet. That's the mushroom, by the way.
Or the 1-up?
Yeah, the 1-up. That's it. This drum fill. It's not really impressive, it's just metal.
Then you die.
Life sucks and then you die. But so yeah, like the length of this video...
What is this?
Oh, this is Stream of Consciousness, my Dream Theater.
Oh, really?
Oh, I should have Seth over here. He can comment on how bad this is. The name of the song is Consciousness 1, which you can see above the measure counter. Because I was originally going to do the part 2 to the song. This is a 10-minute instrumental by Dream Theater on Train of Thought.
Cool.
And it's actually... Someone just... This was a request from me by... Oh, I forget his name. I think it was Zero or Xerox. I honestly forget. Zero on GameFAQs. Shout out to you. Because this was his main requested song. He kept pestering me to do this one. And I finally found that MIDI treasure trove of Dream Theater songs.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so I made the first part of it. In this song, or in this game, rather, GHMix 2.0, drums got like a secondary, maybe this was in 1.0 too, but I don't really know started utilizing it in 2.0. Drums got like a main kit and a secondary kit for each sound set you use.
Oh, wicked.
So like you may have noticed that the hi-hats in the first part of the song sounded different, like almost like a cricket sound, like a
Yeah.
and now they're like full-on hi-hats. Although that was something else with this game, or actually no, the original one too. On drums, I remember the toms and bass all sounded regular, but and it sucks because you have 2 toms as opposed to 3, like a sensible rock band drum set. But you would have a closed hi-hat if. Oh, that was it. This game changed it to be, instead of out of 100 for drums, it was out of 15, and for all other instruments, it was out of 120. Because for drums, the difference in volume varied tremendously. It wasn't like volume, it was like intensity of the hit, essentially. And pretty much like 8 and below on hi-hat was a closed hat, and 9 to 15 was an open hat.
Yeah.
So you had a lot more versatility. Actually, no, that wasn't the original, but it was good. And then 8 below and on orange was a ride, and 9 up was a crash.
Cool.
Although you could also hear gong sounds if I switched to the secondary drum kit.
Okay.
This is really weird, actually. Like this one, you're gonna see. This is actually in the song. Mike Portnoy plays that as far as I know.
Wicked.
You'll see. Did you notice on drums there how it was like
Yeah, it was bass, snare, right?
yeah.
And it dropped the snare?
No, it had dropped a bass from the bass triplets because it was going too fast and they automatically dropped it. So like sometimes if you have like 30-second notes or like 16th triplets, it'll drop one of them because it's dumb. I don't know. Just weird glitches that these games had. But yeah, I was originally going to do part 2, and then I realized that part 2 would have been a lot slower and a lot less interesting. This is already a pretty slow song. I mean, it's a Dream Theater song that uses up the full 5 minutes, and it only has 4... I didn't have to cut any content. It was 4,700 notes.
Nice.
Now, I've made other Dream Theater songs.
That's a good guy.
I like them, but I had to cut so much more content. You can hear the alternate hi-hat here, also.
It's not just a shaker.
Probably. You know the progression better than me.
Damn, it's a fucking weaponized shaker.
It sounded like, I mean, in the original song, like it's like a different symbol, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's just the MIDI I was following had a different thing,
there's
so
no,
I
like,
made it.
standardization for like. There's no like actual standardization for like drum set music. Or often there's like a key or something because there is no standardization.
That sucks. That's really weird when you think about
it's
it.
like there are so many different like percussion instruments that and so many different drum sets, and it's like it's up.
Well, yeah, but like you think it'd be per. I don't know. Well, that's true because you can customize your drum set any way you want.
Oh yeah. You
Like-
can put literally whatever.
Like isn't the Korn drummer that has the world's biggest drum set or something?
Oh really?
Yeah, the Korn
Why?
drummer. I know, right?
Why?
It takes like
It's
it
such
takes
a
like
waste.
5 hours to set up.
Why would you do that?
There's a video of it on YouTube. Anyway, this is where it ends and things get a lot slower, because there's like a slowdown in the middle of the song. But you already had a cool, your dream. I mean, the entire song's a Dream Theater instrumental.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. You'll see, I couldn't do that with other.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh
Is this
yeah.
more Dream Theater?
No,
What is this?
this is Muse,
Well, this is me.
which actually it was put into Rock Band by C3 Custom Content Creators.
Yeah, I remember the sound. Yeah, and that bass. And that bass drop.
Yep. And I charted this the same way as it was. It was actually a DLC for Guitar Hero 3. At least, I mean, I couldn't play it because I was on Wii.
Yeah.
I actually, and sometimes I would actually try to emulate the singer's voice with the keyboard. It sounds really weird. I really love the freaking drum track in this part. It's so cool. I mean, it's only for like the first half of the verse, and then it goes into a standard hi-hat snare rhythm, but this is so funky.
So you ripped this from the Guitar Hero track?
Huh?
So you took this charting from Guitar Hero?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much identical, except for in the chorus. because I wanted it to be the keyboards in the background because it was more interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. Like, most of the time, I would chart it to be as accurate, but I would choose a song based off of how fun it was. So if it had a fun part that I could map to the lead instrument, then I would do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I liked emphasizing the floors there. I mean, it didn't MIDI.
Yeah.
I don't think you actually, like, that's how he actually does it. I don't know. I don't know how Dom Howard, is that Muse's drummer?
I have no clue.
Something like that. But... oh, damn.
Jesus. Oh, sorry.
Knocked off your fucking headphones with that sneeze. But yeah, this is like a weird keyboard in the background, and also, the keyboard extends beyond the range of this, so like it should be 16th notes the whole way, but it just goes way too low. So you can see some of the range limitations.
You didn't bring it up an octave? Or was that
this was using all 4 octaves.
Jesus.
And then, because of note limitations, I cut the second verse and second chorus entirely and jump into the part leading to the guitar solo. Oh yeah, so that is sort of like what I pointed out in the older game.
Oh,
those are the sections that indicate lighting. I believe. I didn't actually really test that much. I really didn't play most of Guitar Hero World Tour and Metallica and Smash Hits and 5 really. Actually, I played 5 a little bit. I played Scatterbrain and Spirit of the Radio, and I played some DLC. Like, I actually went to Blockbuster, back when Blockbuster was a thing. I rented Guitar Hero Smash Hits because I really liked... I played a lot of Guitar Hero 2 and a lot of Guitar Hero 3. Actually, I started with Guitar Hero 3, and then got Guitar Hero 2 for my PlayStation. Played the shit out of that. I like Guitar Hero 2 slightly more, actually. And so I always wanted to get Smash Hits, but I never really wanted to pay for it.
Of course.
And most of the songs that I actually liked were exportable into Guitar Hero 5. So I
so you just rented it and exported it?
I rented it and exported it. And the songs weren't exported from the copy that I rented, so it was sweet.
That's pretty good.
So I played like YYZ and Play With Me and Stop by Jane's Addiction and other songs, Monkey Wrench. And I played some of Guitar Hero 5. Oh, Plugin Baby by Muse was in Guitar Hero 5. I didn't play that one too much. Oh, Chopsticks!
Oh, didn't you fucking...
So the story behind this song, I say as arranged by question mark because it was arranged by, well, like, the song is by an official person. I forget his name. But, like, it's an actual...
sad person.
Yeah. Like, he actually wrote this at a really young age, and it became, like, a thing. I don't think he ever amounted something more famous than Chopsticks.
Holy shit, I would be done with life if Chopsticks was my greatest achievement. I would be so done with everything. Oh my god. I don't even know what I do.
Exactly. Like,
oh god. That's like a fate worse than death.
But this specific arrangement is something that was in a song booklet that came with my piano. Yeah, and so it becomes really cool. And it extends beyond, like, I've never heard this version of Chopsticks anywhere else, but in the fucking auto song player on my piano. Yeah. And my piano comes with a song booklet that has the music to it, sheet music to it. So...
It didn't have any credits in it?
No, so this was my way of showing that song to the world, was like, I have never heard this arrangement of Chopsticks anywhere else. I added my own drum track, but...
That bass thing, man.
I've never heard that. And that's it. It sounds better on my piano.
Enjoyable.
I'll say it's... Oh, and this is BanjoKazooieMDLY. So this is probably... You can see the 5,000 out of 5,000.
Jesus. Make sure you know.
This is probably my proudest accomplishment. Grant Kirkhope has watched it because I tweeted it to him and he said it was cool. It's official.
Wicked. You should get hitched.
Grant Kirkhope is such a great guy on Twitter. Like, anyone can tweet Grant Kirkhope and he'll reply to you because he's not that famous, but like he's still really cool.
What a neat dude. Man, that's pretty wicked.
And this goes through. You haven't played BanjoKazooie, but this goes through pretty much every single level in the game except Clanker's Cavern, which a bunch of people bitched to me about. And I probably could have cut stuff from other songs to get it there. But I mean, like, I wrote this song. I mean, I did these song by song. I didn't plan them out, like, how long it was going to be. And this is right under 5 minutes and maximum note limit. And I pretty much said from the beginning I want to include every single song except Clanker's Cavern. I don't care about that one because that's a bad level.
What the fuck?
Oh, like, okay, here's my problem with Clanker's Cavern. Yeah. And so, it's the third level. It's, this is Mumbo's Mountain. This is the first level you go to after Spiral Mountain, which is the tutorial area, and Grunty's Lair is, like, the hub world. Mumbo's Mountain is the first one. This song is...
seeing, like, a normal drum track. It's bizarre.
Oh, it gets not... Oh. Yeah, it gets not normal pretty
it's
soon.
like bongos, that's fine.
Yeah, but this is how it actually songs in the game.
Yeah.
The other really terrible one is Gobi's Valley. You'll hear. But, it was... Mumbo's Mountain, which is like your typical grassland, like Yahtzee says, like grassland, fireland, grassland, desert land, water world, or whatever, something Sesame Seed boss, like something like that is how Mario games always do it. And Banjo-Kazooie, the original one, did it pretty straight too. I mean, it had some inventive levels. It definitely had a lot more charm and personality than a lot of typical Mario levels. And I just skipped over it, because this is the fourth level. So it's Mumbo's Mountain, Treasure Trove Cove, which is a beach level. And then it's Clanker's Cavern, which I'll get back to. This is Bubble Gloop Swamp. It's a swamp. You have alligators and poisonous water. It's cool. Freeze Easy Peak, amazing level. It's just snow.
I recognize this music.
I learned this on piano. Not much of it, but I play it all the time because I know it's like really easy. I didn't even get to the good part of this song. That's how much content I had to cut. When it goes to like the dun 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 dun. It's a brilliant arrangement, Grant Kirkhope. I love you. This is Gobi's Valley. This is the desert world, and then you have Mad Monster Mansion, Rusty Bucket Bay, which is also a bit of a weird one. Mad Monster Mansion is the horror level. Rusty Bucket Bay is the industrial level. You're around a ship, and it's polluted in like a polluted harbor. This is Mad Monster Mansion, which has pretty much like the coolest guitar part in the whole song. Actually, no, pretty much from here on the guitar parts get cooler and more interesting and have harder parts to them. I'd always try to make my songs hard, even though I wasn't that great at the game. Like, I can't FC this song because of the one part in Bubble Gloop Swamp where it goes like, but I can FC everything past that. And this is all like not incredibly hard, but still like, if you're new to guitar, if you're new to expert, like that's fairly challenging, and then this is also fairly challenging-ish, but it's fun to play. The main thing is it's fun to play. And then the last one is Click Clock Wood, which that one's gimmick is that you're exploring one area, a wooded area, but through 4 different seasons. And that's really interesting. It's like, these are really interesting level mechanics, right? And Clanker's Cavern has you visiting Clanker in this murky area. He's basically a giant mechanical fish that is Gruntilda's trash compactor. The theme of that level is Garbage Jump. Like, I was like, I have no interest in including it. And the song isn't even, it's probably the worst song, too, of the set. Like, I'm sure I'm gonna piss off, people's childhoods, but like, every other song in the game is amazing. And then this is the final boss music. And you can see that I have no drums. Actually, you may have noticed a song in my, in memoriam slide that was called Arthritis. All it is the keyboard part copy-pasted into a different song, because that was another unique thing you could do. Is you could, in this game, I never use it except to do this. It was like you can copy a segment and call it like a riff and copy-paste it into any song, actually.
Cool.
Like, this game was kind of cool. It had some neat features. Some of them didn't work quite right, but whatever. This is Octavarium.
Nice.
This song, I had to make insane cuts to.
Of course. What do you mean, of course?
You'll notice that there's no rhythm. There are 10 rhythm notes. And for the most part, whenever... Like, the guitar here is supposed to be... And I removed a lot of those, because I had no room. I cut a few other segments. This is mostly full... Actually, this keyboard solo isn't officially a part of Full Circle, I realized recently.
What do you mean?
Like, this is actually still, technically, I think in the song's lengths, part of Someone Like Him, which is the second half, the second part.
I get you.
But the keyboard solo is, of course, going to be where I start, because that's where the instrumental sections start. It sounds really sweet. And it's also a shit ton of fun to play, so I mapped it to bass. That was another cool thing you could do is in earlier games, you would have to select one of the tracks, and so like guitar could pick between rhythm, lead, and keyboard to be the track that would be the lead guitar, and bass could pick between bass and keyboard, and that would be your whole track. But this game, slightly more limiting, but for the most part more expanded, is that you can switch in between measures, between rhythm and lead, and between keyboard and bass. So here I swapped from bass to keyboard, and it's going to go back. Actually, it's going to stay keyboard for a while because bass is playing the same thing as lead right now, so I just didn't want that. But it's going to go back to bass eventually. Also, the drums in this song are sick.
Yeah, I was about to say, drums are very faithful.
I mean, yeah, it's Mike Portnoy. It's pretty good. I pretty much didn't sacrifice any drums when it came to cutting things in this song because it's Mike Portnoy. Yeah, this song I needed to make tremendous cuts to, and so I eventually.
The important part there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this is another really proud accomplishment of mine. BanjoKazooieMDLY, I think, is my proudest accomplishment that I have still on here. I think my favorite song overall that I've ever made is actually, we're going to watch it in the downloaded video segment because I deleted it from my hard drive because I had way too many damn songs. This is an hour worth of songs just from Guitar Hero 5, and that's not even, you saw the in memoriam slide of stuff that we're not watching with this individual video. This is where rhythm finally comes in. But I think it's Break the Targets, or Break Dem Targets is what I call it. But my breaks, because it surprised me so much how good it sounded.
Jam.
Like, the Guitar Hero recreation actually sounded really good. I was so happy with it. And it's still probably one of my favorite songs that I've made, just because it sounds so good. It's not like exactly like the original, but it uses the Guitar Hero sound sets really nicely. And
it's supposed to have like a good MIDI feel.
Yeah. It sounded better than the MIDI I was copying from. Like, geez, I loved it. BanjoKazooie is probably my most successful song, though. Like, the person that I got to record a lot of my Guitar Hero 5 videos is GHMix, who I've not talked to in forever. But
sounds way too fast. Is that not?
You can't change BPM.
Yeah, you can't change BPM.
So something I would commonly do is I would switch to triplets.
Yeah.
To make it so that entire segment was in triplets.
I get you.
To be faster. And in fact, I made Hangar 18 actually, the Megadeth song. And I lucked out. I didn't even realize this when I was making it. I was sort of pandering when I made it because I knew people wanted to play it because it was in Guitar Hero 2 and Wii owners couldn't play it. And I didn't make an exact copy of the chart. I made my own thing, which I don't know. That is a song I have no record of. No video on the internet, nothing. And it's fine because it was shit, and actual Hangar 18 now exists in Rock Band and Guitar Hero, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Another 5,000 song. This was my first original song. This was my first good original song.
Nice.
I made some shitty original songs in Guitar Hero World Tour. This was my first, like, I'm gonna make a song. Oh, I was actually watching a live stream by GHMix.
Yeah.
Who was really good at Guitar Hero, by the way. But he was like, I'm gonna make my own song. No, that was a different custom song I made.
What's the story behind this, Grant?
This is just, I thought that riff was really cool. I know, it sounds like it should be familiar. Probably is stolen from somewhere.
I can't think of it.
But this is my first fully original song. It's kind of shitty, but kind of alright. The solos are kind of shitty and oh, and I used the same chord progression the whole song. But
where'd you come up with the name from?
And the solos are sort of uninspired. Oh, I just thought it was cool. You know how it is. This one, that's cool. Oh, and it got to the point where, because GHMix was the only person recording my videos, and because he was so good at Guitar Hero, I made my songs purposefully really hard in segments just to piss him off so that he couldn't FC them. He said he could never FC Hangar 18, which is why he never recorded a video of it. But he FC'd this song.
What?
He's really good at Guitar Hero.
Damn.
He's also like 2 years younger than me.
Really?
So I was talking to like a 12-year-old who had a capture card and was this good at Guitar Hero.
Get wrecked.
And I think one of those few videos on his channel is my Banjo-Kazooie medley. I remember it having over like 20,000 views at some point.
Tasty.
And then like
fucking celebrity, man.
This part I remember. This one guitar part I really liked. And then I made it like stupid. And I had my friends Skypet Lite, who I still talk to occasionally. Or Skype Lite. I always called him Skypet Lite because I didn't know what Skype was until later. And he like. I actually charted this on what's the tabbing software called? Ultimate Guitar? No. Guitar Pro 5. I charted this on Guitar Pro 5, which like turns a MIDI into an actual like guitar tab, and I sent it to him and he was like, okay, like you realize that that's actually impossible to play on like an actual guitar. Like you can't do that, especially that weird like, and I'm like, oh sure you can. I never even looked at the tab. I wonder if I still have those files. I'm curious if like I could actually try to learn that one funky riff in here. I was just this whole song is pretty uninspired, but it's still cool sounding enough. It never did well. Like it was always like in the 180, like the 130 range on like top best, but I liked it. It's still probably my favorite fully original song that I've done. I call it fully original because I can't remember where like that catchy diddle-doo. I honestly like I don't know if I got that from anywhere. I'm sure I did, but exactly 5,000 notes, bro.
Perfect.
It's more Metallica. This was a song that GHMix and I could not FC, and neither could my friend Skypet Lite, who was also pretty good. And it surprised me because it's this one part at the end that apparently is really hard to play the way I charted it. Even though I really like the way it's charted, it's apparently like really hard to get right. Yeah. And they charted so many times and they pissed him off. And I think he finally posted like a -2 streak to his channel. This is a Skypet Lite actually requested me to do this song. I remember. But yeah, he requested me to do a song called Limitless or no, it's called No Limits, I think. Was it by Steve Vai? I think it was by Steve Vai. And I looked at it. This is a really cool part. This isn't the actual Metallica song. Back when Metallica, played fast and not like slow pop metal. God, this is off their first album too. Even though the drums are no fun to play at all.
Oh, that looks painful. Oh. Jesus.
I think they actually all should be crashes in retrospect.
Okay.
I don't know. All this was copy pasted. I did a lot of copy pasting whenever I could. I usually didn't like remake things so that they would be slightly different or whatever. Like this is a full copy paste of the last time you heard it, just because I could fit it in the note limit. I did that with a lot of songs. Like when I made Crystal King, I think you play through it like 3 times. Actually, no, it's not that much. I made Crystal King, which is another lost song I don't have the original files for.
Oh, I remember that one. I don't remember what it sounds like, but I remember it.
It was cool. It had a lot of cool experimentation with like changing volume, right. So that like it would be like, especially on the drums, because you remember like how I actually completely forget how the song goes, but I remember like the drum pattern in that is a bunch of hi-hats, and they have like certain ones accentuated, and it like builds towards them or something. And so I just copy-pasted that a shit ton of times, and it's there the whole song. Sorry if you don't like it, and if it bothers you, because it's the whole song. And so I'd copy-paste, like, video game songs like that, which have a really short repeat cycle of, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to be too short. I copied it, like, 3 times. Like, Monty Mole Attack earlier was, like, 4 repetitions of the song. But, yeah, GHMix9 and Flame8675309 were pretty much my only go-to recorders. GHMix9's channel is still fully functional. He doesn't post to it anymore, but he has a lot of my videos, a lot of really good GH-tuned videos, I will add. It's right here. Apparently this is really hard to play on guitar.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I can see that.
I think it might just
look easy to play.
Yeah, but it's certainly like the way you would play it shouldn't be that much harder than a lot of other songs. And so this is my finished version from Guitar Hero Metallica when I tried to remake the Power Glove version of Tetris. You'll hear the rhythm do one of its special notes.
What do you mean?
That.
What the fuck? What was that?
That's something I never utilize because they sound terrible. But they have these special like power slides, like
fret slides, yeah.
Yeah, and they're only available on rhythm. You can see, I should point out, because when I was talking earlier about how rhythm has power chords and major and minor chords, it's actually illustrating them to you right now, because all of these songs have been on rhythm, so all of these are power. But whenever it goes to major or minor or diminish or something other fancy, it'll say it right there.
Yeah. Like what notes consist of?
Power is essentially the same as a regular single note on another instrument.
With like a fifth or something?
Maybe. I don't know what's actually a power chord. A fifth would make sense, but it acts as like the singular note for other instruments, and they call it a power chord over there. And it's usually louder than the major and minor notes, which piss me off. And so this is Power Glove Song actually is a medley of Tetris parts A, B, and C, which is really cool.
What C? I don't even remember what that C sounds like.
You'll hear it in a second.
Like I recognize. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know.
I think they sort of make their own original, or I forget actually. I don't know. This was a cool song to do. I like it.
It was very nice.
Oh, something I was about to say about Hangar 18 when I was bringing it up is that all of the solos in that song are exactly like the BPM of that section is exactly equivalent to like all those notes being a triplet of the previous BPM. It goes from like 120 to like 160 or something like that. It's exact.
Nice.
120 to 160, that's a 30% increase. That's how triplets. That's how fast. 160 would be how fast a triplet would be in a 120 frame, right? Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't actually feel like working it out in my head right now. But it worked out perfectly for Hangar 18.
Nice.
In this song, in this game, there was actually something that people called it what? They called it a glitch. I remember a user by the name of Trogdor Will Rise first like popularized it. But basically you could use tiny 64th note shifts in this game that were glitched as fuck. I never used them. I experimented with it briefly and I was like, this is way too much of a pain in the ass.
Oh, they do.
Well, but you can sort of emulate custom BPMs that way. I just never like bothered to figure that out.
Like Dick Speed almost?
No.
Or like
I'm surprised you remembered the Dick Speed term from Mario Paint. That's funny. No, but you could emulate your own, you could make your own tempo changes, but it would be a pain in the ass because you have to do it all on your own, by using like actual note movements.
Oh, so and placing them. Oh, just manually like. Okay, I see what you mean.
Like I could never figure out how you're supposed to do that without it being a major pain in the ass.
Yeah,
but someone remade, you know, Porky Means Business from Earthbound. Someone remade that whole song with accurate note with accurate timings. Like, damn.
Screw that.
And my friend Flame.
Yeah, the one that was in the Skype about this a while ago.
Yeah. I remember tried making Crushing Day, which I also made. It's not going to be here. I had to delete it for more room for more songs. We're getting on the tail end. I think this is the last song I ever officially released.
Okay.
Everything after this is pretty much unfinished stuff, and there's a lot of unfinished stuff. But he was making Crushing Day, and then he was making an Ocarina of Time medley with accurate timing changes, down to like one was like 132 BPM, and like one was like 126, and he was that concerned about the difference. And so he tortured himself for it and made a minute's worth and gave up on it. And I was like, yeah, man, I could never bother. So this song requires a lot of explanation. Did you ever play Mother 1?
No, I didn't.
Or Earthbound 0, or Earthbound Beginnings, as I officially title it, because that's what Nintendo has officially referred to it as in North America. In the very first sound noise you encounter, actually, I kind of like the solo-ish. The very first enemy you encounter is a lamp, and it plays this weird metal music called Poltergeist. just like, and I was like, I need to make a remix of that. That sounds fucking metal. Nice. And so I made a metal version of it in Guitar Hero.
Cool.
And of course, because I had to have songs be difficult at some point.
By a grand total of 2 people.
Exactly, right? But I needed to have the song be difficult because reasons.
Of course.
And I actually really like how the song turned out. This part's really uninspired because it's just descending chords. But I made it have its own fake vocal track, as indicated by the piano.
What do you mean?
That's not there.
Oh, you just put it in.
And this is like, that's the actual note. It starts like a key up and then goes down to the main track. And then it has its own custom chorus. Like, normally after this point, it would just repeat. It would repeat, and it's like a 20-second music loop.
Yeah.
And I made a 3-minute song out of it.
Cool.
I'm proud of the song, I don't know. Here's why I never used, and did you notice there it had like 2 notes at the end?
No. What? What about it?
I never, Guitar Hero 6 had a glitch in it in the music studio where notes would extend no matter what. You couldn't create a staccato note. You couldn't determine the length of the note.
Oh.
Even if it like displayed on screen as like being a short thing. Oh, this is also from Paper Mario. These are all my unreleased, unfinished songs because I was like, this isn't decent enough. Look at those drums. But you'll see that it doesn't chart like all of them because I have 4 at a time there on the track, but it only shows like 2.
Weird.
I didn't even have a bass track here. Oh, wait, this is an idea.
So fast.
This is just a dumb.
It's like Through the Fire and the Flames.
It's supposed to be the castle theme from Super Mario Brothers.
I can hardly even recognize it. It's just saying, oh god.
Mixed with Through the Fire and the Flame. This is a really dumb idea I had. And after this, I just was like, where do I go from here? So that's why it's unfinished. Sorry if you thought that would have been badass, but I really didn't know where to go with it. Oh, here's another one of my original songs. I thought that this riff was actually pretty neat. It ends really quickly. It's 10 seconds long.
Rest in peace.
So this is another. Basically, I really liked this part, and then I made it sort of fast-ish with my drum interludes. I don't know. Like, yeah, the other thing is, I've made other songs. I made one called Cheesy Duel back in the day, in a parody of Shredder Duel, and that was really terrible. I made a song called The Showdown, and that was... The Showdown was based off of a riff that GHMix 9 was streaming, and he made this riff, and way too fast drums, I'm sorry. And so I was like, I can make that into a song, and I made The Showdown, which was really shitty. And so, because the only semi-decent original song that I actually completed, and then I transitioned into this part, which I thought was also really cool. I just didn't think it fit too well with the previous part.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I had no idea where to go with like a chorus epic bridge segment.
Oh yeah.
Unless I was to go like an endless sporadic or something and just make a song that just never repeats itself or something. Oh, and this is my other song. I didn't even bother titling this one. I remember this riff came to me in a dream. I was like, oh, that's so intense. It's like a march or something. And I didn't know where to go with it, so I assumed the song goes in a very different direction soon. And after the very different direction, it has a chorus that tries to call back to this.
Yeah.
And it sounds awful. And then the bass is like, I'm just gonna go do my own thing right now.
Cool.
It's how the song will play out. It's terrible. I like the riff that this turns into as well. I realized that I actually stole some of the chord progression in this part from Through the Fire and the Flames eventually.
Huh.
You'll see once we get to the main riff. But it has an opening solo like, what's that song by Megadeth? Good Morning Black Friday. When songs start with a cool solo, I like it. Through the Fire and the Flames. It's that exactly.
It's cheeky.
Like, I came up with it, and then I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, it's fucking Through the Fire and the Flames. This part's also pretty cool. Cool pre-chorus section. And this shit. That's the thing I specifically remember. If you remember the drum fill in the beginning, I thought it was so cool. And then I was like, I recreated it here, but like twice as fast, and I thought it sounded so shitty. So I did my own somehow shittier thing. The bass is gonna come in and do its own thing as if we've had like an enlightening, like a Buddhist transformation.
What is this?
That was my own cool transition into this.
It sounded like something out of Temple or something.
It reminds me, for some reason, of or maybe this part. It's just this part, but it reminds me of like water music in Super Mario 64. I don't know.
I have no idea what it sounds like. Oh,
that was my own thing. This is my biggest unreleased song ever. This is part 4 of Dream Theater's longest song, 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. Yeah. And I was like, oh my, like, this song would be perfect for Guitar Hero. And I eventually realized just, like, it was really late in the lifespan of this game, and, like, no one cared anymore, that I was doing it. And I realized, like, some loose calculations as I was getting to the end, like, there's no way I can fit all these notes in here, even with the massive cuts I've already made to the song. Yeah. Just because it's a really fast song. Huh. It's constantly using 16th notes.
Okay.
So that's disappointing.
Yeah, pretty damn far though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Like I said, it's my most complete custom song. It's gonna go through this main riff, which it's really fun to play too. Like, sorry to everyone that I didn't release this, because like it's I play it a lot. Whenever I'm like popping in Guitar Hero 5, I play this song because it's fun to play. It's incomplete, but the parts that are complete are really, I like how they're charted and they're fun. Like, I find that charting a Rock Band custom is a lot more difficult because it's way more precise. You can't fuck up. Like, here it's just you place notes or whatever and it's no big deal. But like there, it has to be synced to an actual music track, and you can't really read from a MIDI. You have to make sure like the drum track actually emulates what the drums are actually playing. Yeah. So I always
just write a MIDI. Like it's just MIDI pretty much.
I know, but it's like. It's a lot harder because you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You're not relying on a MIDI. I'm really lazy. Like, so I always think that I'm such a shitty person whenever I, like, look back on these memories, because I'm like, god damn, I did a lot of shit. I did a lot of songs, and these were not easy to make, but I think it's just because I was a kid, and, like once you, that's something I believe, is, like, once you have an idea of what you want to do, and I still don't know what I want to do, like, then you can actually focus. And actually become good at something.
Oh, yeah.
And here was just a thing where it's like, I'm going to focus on this, even in retrospect, it's not that cool or useful.
I think it's cool and useful.
Aww. Thank you. I really love this drum.
This shit blew me away back when you first make them. I was like, whoa.
I mean, yeah. We didn't listen to actual music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, play it, James. No, that's not James Agree. Who the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
Jordan Rudess.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, Jordan Rudess is the keyboarder for Dream Theater. That's it. And then here's where I gave up. Right after here, you'll hear. I finished the keyboard part. That was all I finished. There's a really cool dun 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 dun. Then right here, you have every single track playing 16th notes at once.
Jesus.
Pretty much from, like, and right now you have a brief respite back into not 16th notes on every instrument.
Yeah.
But it's mostly there, and I'm like, this is going to add up to more than 5,000, and I really can't be arsed at this point. Maybe someone will actually do the math on that and prove me wrong and say I should finish this, but I'm like...
That would be impossible.
I just lost too much...
You have 800 notes left, there's no way.
And then every other one also needs to do this really fast part that goes to the end. Dun, 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 dun. And then it goes into Solitary Shot.
Neat.
Is that the last song?
Is it? Oh, hey. Hey, what the hell is that?
Oh, it's because there's no drum part.
Oh, damn. That's a weird one.
Yeah. So, I wish I had gone further with this one. Because it sounds cool.
Yeah. It seems like a song that would be very Guitar Hero custom song friendly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a custom song in Rock Band.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't,
Oh, damn.
but I ended up, because this is the main reason, because it's in drop D. And so I increased, oh no, maybe it's not in drop D, but this was my other test. I got this awesome fucking riff. This is one of my favorite riffs in all of rock. I got it to sound good. I really like that. Oh, another massive unreleased song. This one's actually probably bigger than TestStumpedEmAll.
Really?
This was like, I had an idea for Nintendo 64 medley, a Gameboy medley. And I sort of, the only reason why I stopped was because I was running low on notes.
What the fuck? Wait, what is this?
This is Super Mario Land.
Yeah, but I never played.
Yeah.
It's a catchy game.
It's a good ditty. And then, it's just I was running low on notes, and I still had like so much song to fill out, and I still had so many songs I still wanted to do that I was like, this probably isn't gonna work, and I couldn't decide on what songs to finish with. This is the Zelda theme from fucking my favorite Zelda after Majora's Mask. Fucking
Link to the Past?
No, the sequel to Link to the Past, Link's Awakening.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is actually, Matthew Toronto said this, and I was like, wait, I totally agree with you. This is my favorite arrangement of the main Zelda theme.
Of course.
This is like the backing harpsichord is really good. And then we have Green Greens.
Of course.
You're gonna see some fucking fucked up shit on the keyboard side. Also on the drum side, damn.
Power chords. Oh! They're not power chords. Baby. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wanted to make it hard. I don't know.
I mean, it's a hard part.
And so this is actually from Metroid 2 Return of Samus.
Yeah.
It's
Of course,
the
you can't have a Game Boy Medley if that's Metroid 2.
Oh, this is a cool... Oh, I meant to point it out. If you were paying attention to the rhythm guitar, it had like the cool fade in, like... Fucking... I don't know. People watching this can go back in time and see what I was talking about.
This is Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Of course.
I was originally gonna have it be like one per series, but then I reused... I did a song from Super Mario Land 2, the main theme from Super Mario Land 2, and I was like, well... And then I also wanted to do another Pokemon song, and then I also wanted to do fucking Tarm Ruins from Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I mean, Zelda Oracle of Seasons, pretty much every single dungeon song in that game is awesome. It's fucking, like, Dancing Dungeon Dragon is probably the grooviest Zelda dungeon music I've ever heard. It's like... This is Super Mario Land 2. But I wanted to do Tarm Ruins, because that is a really fucking great Game Boy song. That's one of my favorite video game songs of all time. I'll show it to you at some point. Tarm Ruins, everybody. That was originally going to come in after this. But as it stands, this is the last song in the medley. Look at those drums, goddamn. And the harpsichord tool is really cool. Is that the last song?